Hello, I am Dr. Mirela Cernăianu, and I welcome you to the Wellness Optimizing Warrior MD podcast, the WOW MD podcast. I am not your typical wellness coach, and this is not a typical wellness podcast. Here, I'll discuss educational facts about health, hormones, intimacy, anti-aging, and beauty trends, all very hot topics, to empower you to make great choices when it comes to your health and to your body. I want you to go, wow, I did not know that. Or, wow, this is going to make a great difference for me. Our healthcare system is broken and it needs a revolution. You and I can start one today. I am willing to share my knowledge with the world if you're willing to listen. Let's get started. Welcome to another episode of the WOW MD podcast, Wellness Optimizing Warrior MD. In the last few episodes, I talked quite a bit about testosterone for women. And hopefully you got a lot of information. But what I'd like to discuss in this episode specifically is how to harness nature for a holistic approach in revitalizing our inner feminine strength, which ultimately is testosterone. I discussed in a previous episode that natural testosterone comes either from the ovary or from our adrenal. So basically, what do we need to do to support nature or to naturally, holistically increase our testosterone is basically just to nourish and support these two organs. And boom, we make more testosterone. It sounds easy enough, but it might turn out to be very difficult. Well, let's discuss first what we can do and what are the circumstances in which your body might likely not produce more testosterone no matter how hard you try. Many women are very interested and always prefer a natural solution. This is clearly not the magic bullet. By definition, a bullet travels and gets to its destination very fast, same as a jet. But this is far from a bullet or a jet. This takes time, and this is an arduous, labor-intensive solution, harnessing nature holistically to increase testosterone levels as a woman, because you have to do all the work to rebalance your hormones. So let's talk about what are the key components and what are the factors that need to be addressed in order for this to happen. Well, number one, your diet will need to change. Number two, your exercise will definitely need to change. If you're here and you're looking at low testosterone, you might have issues that require improvement in your diet and exercise. And we'll talk about these two in detail. Number three is we need to talk about stress and how this is affecting your testosterone levels. Number four, are there any vitamins and supplements that we could use to boost our testosterone? Sure, we'll talk about them. Number five, the importance of sleep and how bad sleep is not going to help you make testosterone. Number six, maybe the most important of all, avoiding hormone disruptors. We'll talk about that for a little bit. Number seven, alcohol and recreational drugs. Number eight, medications that need to be addressed and considered. So we have 8 factors to take into consideration when we discuss how to naturally boost testosterone levels. So let's start with number one, our diet. Well, what about our diet might need to change? Well, there's lots to say about this, and I'll try to keep it very simple. But remember, food is for us, women and men, what gasoline is for our cars. It is essential fuel that our cells require to keep us young, healthy, moving, thinking, feeling. Food, ultimately, it's not necessarily meant to please our palate. However, our modern society has advanced so much that we really worry about eating foods that we like, that taste good, that please us, not so much for what their nutritional value is. So clearly nourishing your body with a well-balanced diet can play a crucial role in boosting testosterone levels. There are foods rich in zinc, vitamin D, and healthy fats, which can help support hormone production overall. definitely consider including foods like lean meats, seafood, nuts and seeds, whole grains, plenty of fruits and vegetables, so your body will have the essential nutrients it needs to provide energy in general, including energy to make testosterone. Again, an adequate intake of protein and healthy fats, like those that we find in avocados, nuts, olive oil, and specifically eating micronutrients like zinc and vitamin D are very important for testosterone production. On the other hand, a diet that's lacking in essential nutrients or has excessively high processed foods and sugars may negatively impact your hormone balance and testosterone levels. So here are some ways in which your diet can support testosterone levels if you're a woman. Number one, you need to consume an adequate caloric intake. Having enough calories is crucial to maintain hormonal balance, including testosterone. A severe caloric restricted diet or a very low-fat diet will lead to decreased testosterone production by the body. Again, it's important to have a balanced diet that meets your caloric needs and includes a variety of nutrient-dense foods. Number two, we need healthy fats. So always include sources of healthy fats in your diet. Like I mentioned, avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil, fatty fish like salmon. They support testosterone production. Remember, testosterone comes from cholesterol, and healthy fats provide the necessary building blocks for hormone production. Number three, we need protein. Consuming sufficient protein is very important for hormone synthesis, including testosterone. What are good sources of protein? Lean meats, poultry, fish, eggs, dairy products, especially if you're not dairy intolerant, legumes or plant-based protein sources like tofu and tempeh if you're a vegetarian. Number four, we need micronutrients. Certain micronutrients play a role in hormone synthesis and can support healthy testosterone levels. I already mentioned zinc, very important for testosterone production in men as well as in women. And very good food sources for zinc are oysters. They have a reputation for increasing libido, beef, poultry, beans, and nuts. We also need, number five, balanced carbohydrates. Consuming carbohydrates in moderation, especially from whole food sources, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes, can help support an overall good, optimal hormone balance. Keep in mind we need to avoid excessive consumption of processed foods and specifically high sugar content foods. They can lead to weight gain and will potentially alter our hormone levels in a negative way. Obviously, it's worth noting that individual factors or other hormonal problems like thyroid or insulin and very specific health conditions like chronic fatigue, autoimmune issues will influence how a diet change will affect testosterone levels if you're a woman. So if you're experiencing any concerns or you're seeking to optimize your hormone levels and are perfectly healthy, consulting with a healthcare professional or a registered dietitian or both would be highly beneficial. Together, they can probably provide personalized guidance on nutrition and lifestyle choices that support your hormonal health. Another interesting fact about dieting, I mentioned this before in a previous episode, but please remember, fasting increases ghrelin, our hunger hormone, which will increase growth hormone, the hormone that helps us stay lean and fit. And ghrelin will naturally stimulate growth hormone, which is already declining with age, and growth hormone levels can help promote healthy, optimal sex hormone levels. But again, intermittent fasting is great, but keep in mind, if you fast and you restrict your calories, that would affect your testosterone levels in a negative way. What about the keto diet? Lowering carbs and consuming healthy carbs from vegetables and fruits instead of processed grains or processed foods will definitely improve insulin resistance. That's the situation when our insulin receptor is broken. So the keto diet could unlock a better glucose or sugar metabolism, which means losing fat, less cravings, better energy and mood, and indirectly less stress on the body's hormones, which can naturally boost testosterone and make you feel better a lot quicker. So we talked about diet. Number 2, exercise. Let's talk about exercise. Well, we definitely need regular exercise, not just to make testosterone, but for many, many, many other benefits. So keep in mind, engaging in regular physical activity is essential to maintain optimal hormonal balance and overall health. If you're in love with your couch and your TV or your cell phone or your iPad, we need to change that. Let's talk about what type of exercise would be best. Well, strength training exercises in particular can help promote the production of testosterone. Consider incorporating activities such as weightlifting, resistance band workouts, and body weight exercises into your routine. They will have a positive impact on testosterone levels. So how does regular exercise can help boost testosterone levels? I can already see you asking yourself, is it going to be worthwhile? Do I need to really go through all this hassle just to make a little testosterone? Well, let's talk about how exercise can help with testosterone. First of all, let's talk about resistance training. Engaging in resistance training exercises like weightlifting will increase muscle mass and strength. The mechanical stress that's placed on the muscles during resistance training stimulates production of testosterone. Studies have shown that heavy compound exercises like squats, deadlifts, and bench presses have a significant impact on testosterone release. Specifically, are proven to boost testosterone in the short term. Number 2, let's talk about high-intense interval training, HIIT. HIIT workouts involve short bursts of intense activity followed by very brief recovery periods where you still keep moving. You don't just sit. HIIT is efficient and effective at promoting fat loss and improving cardiovascular fitness. And research suggests that high-intense interval training can also help increase testosterone levels in both men and women. What about weight management? That's number 3. Regular exercise will help you maintain a healthy weight and support any weight loss efforts. Excess body fat, especially around the abdominal area, that spare tire, can contribute to hormone imbalances and will contribute to a lower testosterone production overall. By engaging in regular physical activity, you will help manage your weight and improve your testosterone levels. Number 4, how exercise improves testosterone? By blood circulation. Exercise increases blood flow and improves cardiovascular health. This improved circulation allows hormones, including testosterone, to be distributed more effectively throughout the body. Also, a better blood circulation will help deliver nutrients and oxygen to the muscles and organs, overall supporting hormone balance and better use of our hormones. Number 5, stress reduction. We know that exercise reduces stress and promotes release of endorphins. Well, if you didn't know already, endorphins are mood-boosting hormones. You know chronic stress can disrupt hormone balance. Everybody knows that. And obviously, it will negatively impact testosterone levels. By incorporating regular exercise into your routine, you can counteract the effects of stress and support a better, healthier hormone production, including testosterone. So to recap, there are 5 mechanisms through which exercise helps testosterone levels. That should be a significant motivator to change your exercise routine if you're not already doing it. To recap, resistance training, high-intense interval training are known to boost testosterone. By increasing your exercise, you're able to manage your weight, you will get better blood circulation and removal of toxins with the blood circulation, and you reduce stress. All of these helpful in making more testosterone. Now let's talk about one thing that we can't ignore. It is important to note that the effects of exercise on testosterone levels can vary individually. I'm not going to promise you that if you suddenly start working out like crazy, you're going to get a lot of testosterone. Age, overall health, exercise intensity, exercise duration will influence the extent of testosterone increase. So also, it's always advisable to consult with a healthcare professional or a qualified personal trainer to decide if your fitness and your health is ready to start an exercise plan, and you need to develop an exercise plan that's specifically tailored to your needs and goals. So I want to talk about a less known problem that happens when we engage in vigorous regular exercise. This is for the women out there that exercise like crazy and have super low testosterone. Well, exercise could be a double-edged sword. Well, why? You might not remember, but in a previous podcast, if you haven't listened to it, I mentioned how strenuous exercise can be detrimental. And in order to explain what I mean by that, I need to give you a little bit more information. So let me take a little detour into the adrenal fatigue zone. Well, who hasn't heard of adrenal fatigue? It's a real thing, and we might call it different terms, different names: adrenal imbalance, adrenal dysfunction, adrenal insufficiency, but we cannot deny it exists. And our adrenals can and will get burnt out. So I discussed in the previous episodes that half of our testosterone that's produced in our bodies really comes from the adrenal gland. So what happens if your adrenal gland is not working properly anymore? Then there will be a major shift of the adrenal hormone production to a high priority stress response. That's called the fight or flight response, the stress response, in which case the majority of your hormone precursors will be used to make cortisol, the stress hormone. So the two major precursors the body uses to make testosterone, starting all the way from cholesterol, which are DHEA and pregnenolone, will be very low. Again, most of the adrenal production will be shifted to make cortisol. So less DHEA, less pregnenolone will mean less testosterone. Well, you could say, let me supplement with some DHEA and pregnenolone so I will make more testosterone. Wrong. You will just fuel the cortisol fire. Once your body is on fire and needs cortisol, you need to address that first. Pouring DHEA and pregnenolone in the hope it will increase testosterone production will not do that. Will do the exact opposite. So let's talk about heavy-duty, strenuous, sustained exercise. It might feel great when you're very stressed, especially initially. It can work to de-stress you, especially when you come at the end of the day, you had a horrible day, crazy colleagues, crazy boss, crazy clients, and you feel good at the end of it. You feel like a load was taken off, and then the next morning you realize, oh, wait a minute, I'm kind of exhausted. I don't feel good. This type of exercise can de-stress you temporarily, but in the long run, it can keep you in this fight or flight response mode that you're trying to escape from. It will also most likely burn out your adrenals even more and will slow and delay your recovery. This is something that we can probably get by while we're young because our metabolism works well and our telomere repair is working well. However, after our 40s, you will just delay healing, and the heavy-duty, strenuous, repetitive exercise in the long term will hurt you more than help you and definitely decrease natural testosterone production. So always use caution and discuss with your provider whether your exercise regimen matches your stamina, your endurance, your general hormonal and adrenal health. So pick a knowledgeable practitioner to discuss that. So let's talk about number 3. We had number 1, diet, number 2, exercise. Number 3 way to boost testosterone naturally is minimizing and addressing stress. So I spoke about the adrenal a bunch of times in the previous podcasts, And as it turns out, no matter what, we kind of keep coming back to it. So clearly, it's a crucial gland. But specifically for testosterone, as well as for estrogen, our major sex hormones, please remember this. The higher the stress, the lower the sex hormones. And this is true whether you're a man or a woman. The stress that we go through directly inhibits our FSH and LH drive from the brain to the pituitary, and then from pituitary to the ovary and testes, and affects the HPA axis, stimulating cortisol production preferentially. So again, in a stress mode, your body will shift all hormone production to making stress hormone cortisol, and will detract and decrease the production of sex hormones. Kind of like, I know this is not a good time to make babies, and it does just that. It will shut down the drive to sex hormones, boosting the drive to more stress hormone. So I'm not going to take a lot of your time with how to minimize stress. There's lots of providers for that. There's lots of things you can read about on how to do that. I love yoga, restorative exercise, Tai Chi, Qigong. Please look into meditation, breathing exercises, meditative states, acupuncture. There's so many ways. Massage. I can go on and on about how to minimize stress. That's not the purpose, but you got the gist of it. Number 4, let's talk about vitamins and supplements that could boost testosterone. Well, sure, there's lots of those. So zinc, I mentioned it before. Ashwagandha, it's an adaptogenic herb. It will impact your response to stress in a favorable way, even in the presence of stress. So it's something that's very useful to manage stress. Ginger, magnesium, B vitamins, vitamin D, fenugreek. Those are just a few examples of supplements and vitamins that could boost and help you with your optimal testosterone production. So if you have a bad diet, your exercise regimen is not right for you, and you have a lot of stress, would taking a little zinc and fenugreek and ashwagandha help you? Probably not. If you're looking for the supplements being a magic bullet, they're not it. Only testosterone itself is that magic bullet. Consider that you need to put a lot of ingredients into your mixer to make that perfect smoothie, which is optimal testosterone levels. Number 5, sleep. You want to make sure you pay your sleep bank. You need to sleep 7 to 8 hours to feel your best and to have optimal sex hormone levels. Bad sleep means fatigue, means adrenal disruption, means low sex hormones. So how do we know if we sleep enough? Ask yourself in the morning, do I feel energized? Do I feel refreshed? And if you don't wake up feeling energized or refreshed, you need to have a conversation about that with your doctor, about what can be done to fix it. It is a slippery slope to way more problems than just low testosterone. But sleep, for sure, it's a great way to have healthier, optimal testosterone levels. Let's talk about number 6. This is maybe one of the most important of all of the factors that we talked about, avoiding hormone disruptors. I talked a little bit in some previous podcast episodes about how sex hormones act via receptors. They need to interact with these receptors. They really cannot stimulate or have any cellular activity or consequence unless they connect with their specific hormone receptor. So testosterone connects with testosterone receptors, estrogen with estrogen receptors, and so on and so forth. So the receptor is a very important structure in and of itself. And testosterone fits within this unique testosterone receptor like a key and lock mechanism. If the lock is broken, then the key, our testosterone, will not be able to unlock the cellular action it needs to initiate various effects throughout our organs and work on the brain, the muscle, the bone, the sexual organs, the fat cells, etc. These hormone receptor disruptors are usually chemicals we are surrounded by in our daily lives. Plastic containers, carpets, furniture, tallets, cans, etc. There are many dangerous chemicals that could be hormone disruptors. BPA is a very well-known one. There are many chemicals found in plastic containers and bottles. So how do we get rid of them? Well, it's a whole topic for another podcast. But again, please take away from this that you need to look into this as a cleansing. Less hormone disruptors means healthier receptors and healthier testosterone effects. Number 7 and 8. 7 is alcohol and recreational drugs like marijuana. Obviously, any excessive alcohol consumption or substance abuse or recreational drugs, including marijuana, can negatively impact your testosterone levels. So consider cutting back on alcohol, avoid the use of recreational drugs, tobacco, steroids. It will help support a better and optimal hormonal health overall. And medications, there are many medications like steroids, prednisone, opioid pain medications, which can have a significant impact on testosterone production. However, the ones that are best known are the antidepressant medications. And many of them have a significant impact on libido and create sexual dysfunction in women. However, please note that the impact of antidepressant medication on testosterone and libido in women is an area of ongoing research, and findings are not yet extremely conclusive as far as some medications go. However, SSRIs, and there are many of them, Zoloft, Prozac, Lexapro, etc., the most commonly prescribed class of antidepressants, have clearly been associated with potential sexual side effects, including decreased libido. The exact mechanism is not well understood, but it is believed that the alterations in the neurotransmitter levels caused by these medications may influence hormone regulation, which could affect testosterone levels. However, please know that the relationship between antidepressants, testosterone, and libido in women is complex and can vary greatly among individuals. So to recap, you can support your body's natural hormone balance and testosterone and promote overall well-being all naturally. And the best natural way to have good testosterone levels as a woman is to eat a healthy, balanced, possibly keto diet, possible intermittent fasting, exercise regularly according to your stamina, endurance, and overall health, to avoid and manage stress, to nourish and support your overall health with supplements and vitamins, to sleep well every night, to avoid exposure to toxins, chemicals, alcohols, and medications. Please keep in mind that any of these holistic approaches, either individually or together, may take time to show results. Consistency and patience are crucial to allow your body time to adapt and to rebalance your hormone levels naturally. The times we live in do not always allow us the patience to go through a program where we change everything: our diet, our stress, our exercise, our sleep, our supplements. There's a lot of time and money and effort that goes into that. So it's important to consider having some support while you attempt to do this. So that way you can help increase your chance of success. So consult with a qualified and experienced healthcare professional who hopefully can provide personalized guidance and recommendations based on your specific needs. If you are one of my patients and you and I haven't broached how to boost your testosterone levels yet, and you are in your 20s, 30s, or early 40s, please ask me at your next appointment. And last but not least, if necessary, you're in your late 30s, early 40s, definitely past mid-40s, If you've done all of this and you haven't gotten anywhere, consider testosterone hormone replacement therapy, as it is the ultimate magic solution with bullet or jet fast results for perimenopause relief, better mood, better weight, and better sexual desire. I will say goodbye until we meet again. If you liked the information you heard and you'd like to hear more, please subscribe and follow my podcast. Should you find the content helpful to not just you, but possibly others, please share it and feel free to leave us a review. You are welcome to join the Facebook group, The Warrior Optimizing Wellness MD. I certainly hope that you've heard many things in this podcast that made you go, wow, I did not know that, or wow, I'd like to know more. So keep listening and I'll keep talking.